Blackbush Air Day 2025 with June and Robin Lovelock. Rough cut photo trails, and they will be rough cut. I'll start with a few clips just to give you a flavour, but you've got to go a long way through the video to find the material that was shot at Blackbush. With a standard introduction. Where we live, at 22 Armitage Court, marked by their large oak tree that sprung up from an acorn. Yes, and here's so-called Robin's Corner. Warning signs about fierce guard cats. Yes, you will see those. And 22 Armitage Court in Sunning Hill. Yes, armed mice also defending the property. You'll get a flavour for the gadgets. And this spot was called Robin's Corner for a few years, from when GPS was tested at this spot down here from the late 1980s. Yes, that's the garden sculpture. You can hardly see it. You got that for Robin for a birthday present a few years ago. Anyhow, so that's the corner of their property. And yes, the robot boat, you'll see him on another clip. No chance to do any work on that. That's Snoopy the Viking. Yes, everything's springing up. No chance to do any work on the garden. That's June's car, promotion of the website, gpss.co.uk. There was a business many years ago. There's now hobbies like the robot boat and charitable causes. Excuse me, coughing. That's better. Oh dear. June's got it much worse. Now, where are we? Yes, we're just coming down here. There's the bicycle. I haven't done any work on that. A lot of people would have seen this sort of stuff on other clips. Here's Bentley, the senior guard cat, and you'll see him on another clip. He's decided to hang out here. It's got warning signs about the cats. That is cat fort number 1. Yes, armed mice. Cat fort number 2. But sometimes Bentley chooses just to hang out there, and woe betide anybody that gets up to any mischief here. So coming through to our front door, and I probably left it. No, I haven't left it open. Oh dear. So yes, there's a few things I'll point out. People have seen this loads of times before, and there's cameras everywhere and warning signs. And there's a flatulent fairy, which was a Christmas project, but it never ended up going up the tree, one of those trees. Yeah, work outstanding. Haven't had a chance to unblock drains. There's the ladders in place. Lots of stuff. Peanuts everywhere. That's encouraging birds to eat there rather than the peanut feeder. Here, yes, was topped up last night. And yeah, one of the cameras needs fixing. In fact, it was charging up the car battery, which keeps it going for weeks. That's the Ring camera. But there's lots of cameras everywhere. So, yes, that was the flatulent gnome, which was something we got from Australia years ago, because you couldn't get the stock anymore. And recently I filled it with concrete because the fox cubs were knocking it over, and gave it some paint. A lot of these things have been with us for many years. Right, I'm getting close to going to the house. So now I have to read out the warning signs, emphasising that these are just jokes, because people say, you daren't say that. So first of all, I'll read out the signs. Right, I guess this one is an obvious one. Closed circuit TV, hidden TV cameras inside and outside this house. Sound and video is monitored in local houses and elsewhere. No trespassing. Violators will be shot. Survivors will be shot again. Yes, there's cameras everywhere. There's just one. I think that one actually works, believe it or not. And yes, this vegetation is hiding some of the signs. We need to sort that. Do not disturb. I'm disturbed enough already. That's my study through there. And this sign is probably the most important. All the warning signs, but it says, home of mad ex-NATO scientist Robin Lovelock, beware of web cameras and water squirters. Loaded with water, paint, acid, DNA tracer or nerve agent. Robin would not be mad enough to test these. Or would he? Just a joke, of course. Right, I think it's safe to go into the house. We've certainly... Yeah, just another glance so you see the state of it. Middle of June. And see if I can get in now. I'm going to have to use a key. So let me just see if I can do that. It's not easy. I used to do this sort of thing with a pocket camera, but you can't buy them now, and the ones I got packed up. Right, we're in the house. I think it's safe in here. So there's another clip I'll follow here. Here's June. Yeah, so she's got tennis on the TV just for a change. This is the kitchen. Yes, that was work that was done a little while ago. Good enough. And right, coming through. I'll probably go into a clip shot earlier as part of the tour. Not sure the order I put this stuff together. Right, so this is Father's Day today. Yes, there's other material here. So this is whatever you call it, rear patio, and it's not too bad a state now. It wasn't. And this goes into the lounge. So I'm not sure what order I'm going to put this stuff together. So let's stop that clip there. Yes. This has been filmed on the next day, Sunday, and I'd forgotten it's Father's Day. And Samantha just popped out, and of course Toadie's just finishing off my Weetabix I've had with some presents for Father's Day and a card. I'd forgotten. Anyhow, we'll probably put this clip into the video, which is for the day before, the Saturday. But anyhow, only just noticed the pond has dropped, yes, but Samantha just pointed out there's a dead fish down here. One of their fishes is already dead. That's one of the larger koi carp. There's only two big ones. So the cameras may show what did it. I have my suspicions about it being one of the guard cats getting bored, but I'm not sure. Anyhow, I might as well use this opportunity to, yes, you would have seen that before, which are the 4 candles. And pond fort for guard cats, mostly worried about the heron. There, I'll call that pond fort number 1. And pond fort number 2, down the end there, is well tucked away. And the recent job that was done on the pond was, if you call it a job, was a means of measuring how much the water has dropped. And those markers are poking out the sides, marking every inch. So now it looks as though it's dropped, if you give it enough time, probably 24 hours or less, it drops to about 3.5 inches. So we haven't actually sorted the leak yet, but we did as much work as could be done in the winter. Now, what I will use is this, the opportunity. Yes, so you can see where the water has dropped. That's the equivalent of dropping 3.5 inches from where it overflows. So if it was full, it'd be up to there. You'd have seen that before, but I'm using this as the opportunity for a quick walk around the garden. Everything's grown, and I've not done any gardening work. And I did chop a root through here, and I just dumped it there, hoping that Samantha would put it down the end. But no, she hasn't chosen to do that. Yeah, so everything's overgrown. I'll fight my way through here at great risk because there's still brambles. I just got some of the worst out of the way. And so when it overflows, not overflows, sorry, wrong thing, cut around the back here, definitely a health and safety problem. When the pond leaks, it's still not clear the exact route, but the water gets through here, and what I've done, is, I'll set it fill in, so there might be another clip. The water, majority of it, still flows down and into where it should go, which is the second pond in here, as opposed to overflowing, if everything was working perfectly, in the stream. And yes, still a load of chopping back of things like brambles. Yes, blackberries do grow on them, but we don't want them. And there's tools I was using just there rather than in the right place, including sledgehammer and tripping over empty PVA containers. Yeah, so this stuff needs to be put different, and probably still more digging around there as a, I suppose you'd say, a temporary fix, so that no water goes next door. Right. Yes, June's roses come out. Oh yes, it's a guard cat following me around. Hello, Toadie. Where's Bentley? Oh, you're going to go through there, are you? Oh, you're going up through there. See, another example, that path there. That's a supposed heron scarer, but I don't think they work. But right, I'm just using this opportunity to get the rest of the garden. And so weed has grown there. Of course, some weeds are quite pretty. I think that's Granny Pop-Out bed that we used to call it. Yeah, so Gunnerer Manticata coming up. Might need to encourage a bit more water there. Yeah, so coming down. So when the water off the roof goes into the pond, all these things I mentioned need to be worked on. That pond tops up, and then it overflows down into the third pond, if you call it that, or reservoir for the bog garden. And there's a few reeds and things here. And then right at the very bottom here, yeah, there's lots of junk and things. And there's the clothesline. Here's the no lack of space for the compost heap. Yeah, stuff could be chopped up and put better. But shared other photo trails would have shown these things. No lack of places to keep tools, including lawnmowers, strimmers, lots of other junk. And of course, the key thing is, yes, that all belongs down there. Chopped up, of course. Yeah, look at it, all overgrown. Can't even see places for another forks for the cats. Coming around here, yes, there's the laboratory summer house. No chance of tidying that up yet. Lots of drawers that things can be put in, the things that are kept. Coming around here, so coming into the workshop area, lots and lots of saws. Yes, some of those can be given away or thrown away. Oh yes, more fork handles. Yeah, somebody might want to have another project there. No lack of space to keep things, it's just we need to complete the process of putting things in the right place. Yes, that's the workshop. And this whole area is the workshop area. That is the back of June's greenhouse. Yeah, I wasn't expecting such a long tour as this, but may as well grab the chance. Oh. So, coming back up the garden, as I've said many times, no chance to do work on other projects like the telescope that I built as a kid, or at least the optics for it. That's it, a quick glance while I'm about it. June's greenhouse. And coming around the side of the house, I wasn't going to do this, but I might as well. Various materials. Where we keep the dustbins. 2 more cat forts. Armed mice. Some of this we would see. And here is the senior guard cat, Bentley. Now Bentley has been looking after the property for some time and training Toadie. The only trouble is that Toadie likes to play fight. That's right, isn't it, Bentley? Bentley does quite a lot of work in return for simply food and somewhere to hang out. His official place of residence is over the road with Paul and Paula. Oh yes, there's the robot boat. Yes, no chance to do any work on that. It's that's been outstanding for a year or two now. A couple of things to be fixed. There's a page on it. Yeah, so yeah, it looks as though run down power. That's Snoopy the Viking. Yeah, so normally that goes in the standard introduction, walking down here. So be a lot of boring overlap. So I'll go back where I was and this enables people to recce the place, but it's not recommended that anybody thinks of breaking and entering. The process of breaking might actually improve the property. And of course, as I've said many times before, one of the reasons for these videos, or certainly the introduction, is to give information for those who might possibly be able to help in what they call property maintenance. Anyhow, that quick glance at the outstanding stuff. This is the untidy games room. Yes, you can blame Robin for a lot of it because it's robot boat related. Test rig testing a servo to death, which has been running for months, okay? Just a case of changing the batteries after charging them up. But of course all that needs to be tidied, and we haven't seen the snooker table itself under what June likes to call the dining table because of the amount of junk. And yes, hobbies in the children's film The Red Kites, lots of other things. So that would definitely benefit from tidying up, and you daren't see what's upstairs. Right, into the lounge, so that's not quite as bad. And what's on the screen is our trip yesterday, which is the main subject of the video, which is from where we are down onto the A30 through Bagshot, Camberley, past the Royal Academy, and to Yateley, and of course BLACKBUSHE Airport. So let's go into those clips that were shot yesterday at BLACKBUSHE airfield for BLACKBUSHE Air Day. Here comes the Lancaster. That's the crowd over there, but the tickets were all sold out. He's gone behind the trees, I think. Yeah, there he is, coming round again. There's June, camera lady. If they need to make an emergency landing, they have no lack of space here, even though it's common land. Of course, that crowd might have to move out of the way. If you can hear noise in the background, it's probably the go-karts over on a go-kart track further over behind the trees. Right, so looks like Robin's got to carry the seats again. So where shall we go? Down there where the crowd is? Up to you. Where do we think? In that direction, I suppose. There'll be other people turning up. Yeah. Oh, I think go down there. Difficult getting up. Yeah, so I thought I saw, wasn't sure what they were. Looks like circling ready to come in. Yeah, there we go. Oh, look at that. Yes. Oh, it's Yankee. Oh dear. Yeah, I guess that was a Mustang.
Right, I had that recording.
I didn't think they were allowed to have Yanks here. Right, that's the control tower within yards of the A30, just there. And of course the main show, the area that is roped off and you've got to pay to get in, but they're sold out with tickets, is further over there. So this is operational runway here, whereas where we've been walking is all part of the common land. So I'll better find somewhere where June tells me to put the seats. Where shall I stick the seats, dear?
Need you to help me down.
That's the silly question, isn't it? Oh, that's a little light aircraft. I guess it'd be doing a flyby. So, do you know the model of that? De Havilland, is it?
Dragon, this one. Dragon Rapide is the.
Oh, I'll get it on there. Oh, yeah, I don't remember it, but stop that take. Oh, June's got some food there. I think I can see a warplane taxiing. That fella. Yeah, could that be a Mustang again? June's probably going to get better pictures and video than I am. Nah, you weren't quick enough. I was hiding. be a gyrocopter. Some of those fire engines are half noisy. Right, so question then is, which way back? That's where we are. If you can see it. Ah, it's gone. Screen has gone out. There we go. That's where we are, and little Vigo, and where the car is up there. So in fact, up that runway and then back in, which is the way we came. So let's check that out. Is it rolling?
Yeah.
Is it rolling?
Yeah.
Right, we're at BLACKBUSHE Airport Common. Yeah, prepare to sit down and enjoy the air display. You can pan around, if you can hear me above the wind noise, to see the old runways. This is all common land. And we're expecting a Lancaster to fly in about now, if he meets his time on target. I think the show, and it's sold out, is just up there, but we're going to walk that way. Well, we should get a good view. Nothing coming yet, is there?
No.
Aircraft like to fly upwind. The wind is coming this way, I think, looking at the clouds. So let's just see where that goes. Oh, down there. Oh, so.
Ah, here we go. Something.
Ah, something coming. That could be the Lancaster. Yes, it is.
It's there somewhere.
Here comes the Lancaster.
Whoops, I've lost him. There he is.
So, back here now, make my way through here. We're now going to material that was shot, a year or two back, on two subjects, which was global warming and my thoughts about the driver vehicle licensing agency, the DVLA. So I think that material started about here. Now, what I put on the screen, because global warming is rare in itself, it's something that's been on my grumpy page for years. The remarkable James Lovelock, who passed away on the 26th of July, his 103rd birthday. I'll read out what this says here. This has been on the grumpy page for years, not long after the publication of his book, Revenge of Gaia. We can't stop global warming, but we may delay it by a few decades to give us time to prepare for its effects. Vast areas of the world, including as close as continental Europe, becoming arid desert, shrinking of habitable areas of the planet to much smaller parts of the planet, closer to the poles. The Earth will then only be able to support a small fraction of its present population, and there will be a need for massive migration. Places like the UK will remain temperate a little longer, so be an attractive destination. We need all world governments to cooperate to prepare for this inevitability. Also to agree things like reduce use of fossil fuels to give us a few more decades to prepare. And then it goes on. The above is not a quote, but how I remember what James Lovelock said in his book, The Revenge of Gaia, etc. That's been unchanged on my site for years. And right, well, the other thing I should mention, yes, retired, happy and spending that kid's inheritance, is for some time now I've not been able to drive due to, well, several mistakes at the DVLA. And what I will say is that I have new evidence of what happened inside the DVLA, which I won't publish yet, because I'm still waiting for the reply to the letter which was delivered by recorded delivery to the head of the DVLA and also other people. So I'll put in at the end of this long video the video that's gone up, me talking about the DVLA, and basically in summary it says I don't want anybody to get into trouble, and that is definitely the case, and resigning is too easy. Problems need to be fixed. But quite honestly, that is a minor thing compared with all the other things that are going on in the world, not least wars, and of course what's in the background and very important is global warming. So let's run into that. Back in 2012.
Seen the launch of a transatlantic sailing attempt this morning in a model boat. Retired NATO scientist Robin Lovelock launched his Snoop Loop from Barton-on-Sea towards the Bahamas. It's already been tested over 5,000 miles on a lake in Berkshire. The model will be steered and tracked through a satellite system and by Snoopy, of course, and it should make the crossing in 6 months, if it survives, that is.
The most important thing of the lot, of course, is Snoopy the Viking, the skipper. I don't think he'd make it otherwise. We've also got another bit and piece here. This is a GPS logger that logs the position every 15 minutes.
That was back in 2012. The guy that put this material together, including the live broadcast and what went up on the BBC website, is Ben Moore.
I just worried for Snoopy. Sport now and Hampshire.
Right, on to the next topic. Right. Now, I'm going to do this all in one take. All unrehearsed and unscripted, so sorry about that. What I'd like to happen, if anybody picks up on the DVLA story, is, as I say, nobody getting into trouble, and that's a genuine request, but when they find flaws in procedures where they don't cover certain things, be good if those are fixed. What I think would be useful for anybody looking at the DVLA and perhaps helping them is, first of all, their organisation chart showing the structure. Yes, it's well known who the head of the DVLA, remarkable woman, looking at her CV, and relevant to this story is the head of the health part. But it would be very useful to see, even if names aren't attached, obviously the names can be attached where they're public already, is how many people in each branch, how many people are reporting to how many. So a simple tree would help. I suggest that first of all. Then, perhaps even more important, is how many people working for the DVLA, even if you don't identify the individuals, are salaried by the DVLA excuse me, directly, as opposed to contracted through an agency or a business. That is very important, and we've seen what's been happening in places like the NHS for years. So that comes into the equation in terms of whether money is well spent, and of course the DVLA collects a lot of money, and there are probably other things as well, but as a starting point, I'd hope anybody that responds to this, I can't afford to get overloaded, we've got other things to do, many other things to do, and we'll be taking a holiday, that'll be public, yes. I'm tracked everywhere by different things, and in fact, if anybody's paranoid about it, anybody who's tracking somebody or looking at somebody's probably seen already. But at the end of the day, there's me wittering on, which is one of my main weaknesses since I was a little child. That's why if you put things up, clearly be careful what you put up, and often it can do some good. I'm now in the kitchen, and June's rustling up some food in the microwave for Samantha, and here's Samantha, and of course there's tennis on the television, just for a change. So, oh yes, point out, holidays in we're going off to Sicily again soon, and into the hall. Yes, nice expensive paintings here. Yep, expensive little pocket camera, not expensive. And through into the lounge and out to wrap up this video by saying, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have. Here we go, Daddy's Day, and relaxing out on the patio, and pond has been topped up. There's still a few fishes there. So, as I always say, look after yourselves, stay safe, and enjoy what days we have.